welcome back and welcome if you're new to my channel. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing a comparison review. It's the comparison review with the Louis Vuitton, the Loop bag versus the Louis Vuitton Over the Moon bag. So what I wanted to do was, you know what, it's interesting because when you look online, the sizes of these bags are very similar. I mean, even like looking at them right now, they don't look a lot bigger. I mean, the Over the Moon's are obviously a little bit bigger, but it doesn't look a lot bigger. So what's really interesting is this one here, the Loop bag, I do have the measurements here. So the Loop bag is actually 9.1 by 5.1 by 2.4. And when you look at the actual Over the Moon, it's 10.8 by 6.3 by 2.8. So it doesn't sound like it's a lot bigger, which is really interesting. But one of the things, you know, I'm not going to go through an extensive review on this video because I really just wanted to do more of a comparison. I want to show you guys how much fits in this one versus this one. Although you can see it on my channel, both of these bags are on my channel, but I think it's nice sometimes to see it side by side, how much can fit. And I also want to do a quick model shot with both of them on so you can see how much larger one looks compared to the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. I'm not going to get into all the detail. I'll do just some very basic stuff, but you can see that the chain, the detachable chain that comes with the Over the Moon is a little bit thicker. It's a little bit longer, looks a little longer. The Over the Moon, obviously the bag's a little smaller, so the chain's a little bit thinner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this chain off the Loop bag because I do want to show you the difference in thickness with both. I'm having a hard time taking that off. Oh, sorry, I wasn't doing that right. But see, I'm going to put this right next to this other one, and you can see how much thinner the one with the loop is. I mean, it's definitely thinner. You can absolutely notice. You can see the difference there. So I just wanted to show you that just so that you have an idea. So I'll put this back on this. See, I'm like, I don't know why I'm having a little bit of a hard time with this. It's almost like it doesn't come off real easily when I'm trying to take this off. This is really interesting. I think I may actually scratch that. Well, it barely I mean, that's kind of interesting. So I don't think that this chain maybe is meant to be removed all the time. That's what I'm thinking. Another big difference is that you can see the actual hook on the Over the Moon. Look how large that is. So when I try to remove this chain, look how easy it comes off. It comes off very, very easily. Very, very easy. No issues. Again, it's because it's so big. But then when I'm trying to take this one off, you can see, when I was trying to take it off, it got stuck. And I actually scratched it a little bit. You can see here, like I'm trying to take it off. Let's see if I can get you a good view. And it doesn't really come off very easily. So I'm not sure that I would recommend that you take this chain off all the time. It's probably meant to stay on all the time, to be honest. Because I actually think that I may have even scratched it just a tiny bit. You obviously can't see it, and over time it's going to scratch anyway. But yeah, so that's one, I guess, difference between the two, that this one's easily removable and this does have a smaller clasp. So I'm not sure that this is going to fit on all of your bags versus I think this one will probably fit on just about any of your bags. So one big difference there. As far as straps, obviously the Loop bag comes with a treated vachetta strap, which is really nice. So it has a little bit, in my opinion, I think it's a little bit more of a dressier look versus the Over the Moon. It has more of this nylon sporty strap. But again, I mean, if you own any other bag that has a black strap, I mean, even like the Pochette Matisse or just a different bag, I think you can use that strap and it'll look just fine, even if you want to change it up. So that's one big difference, is this has a sporty strap versus I believe this looks a little bit more dressy in my opinion. As far as what else? As far as size, I mean, you can see again, I mentioned that the loop is a little bit smaller, so that's one big thing. You could also see, I'll show you side this way. I'll show you the actual width of each of them so that you can see the difference. But there you can see how much wider this one is versus this one. This one's definitely thinner. It's not as thick. But yeah, I mean, I think they're both super cute. I mean, obviously it just depends on what you're looking for and what you're going to use it for. So what I'm going to do now is I want to try to show you what you can fit inside of it in case you're wondering which one's going to be better suited for you. And again, they're very similar in size, but I will tell you, you're going to be really surprised to see how much more that you can fit in one versus the other. So I'll go ahead and start showing you that. So when it comes to the loop, you can see just by looking inside, it is a little bit thinner. This bag's definitely thinner, so you're obviously not going to fit as much in here. So I'm going to show you what you can actually fit in here. Like your toiletry pouch, that will not fit. I can show you right now. I mean, it's not, it just doesn't fit. You can see it sticking out here. So that's definitely not going to fit. So if you have a toiletry 15 and you were thinking or hoping that it would fit in here, it's not going to fit. But if you have a recto verso, and mine's super full, that fits in here without a problem. If you want to put a card holder in here, that fits in here without a problem. I'm going to grab my cell phone so that you can see what if that'll fit in there. So now my cell phone, this is the Plus, so this is the largest phone. So I will put that in there, and that fits really nicely in there. So I have my cell phone, I have a card holder, and the recto verso that's really full. And those three pieces fit really nicely in there. And you can see that the bag's not deformed or warped or anything. I mean, it fits perfectly. You can also slide a lipstick in there or something else if you wanted to, because there is a little bit of room, especially on the sides. I'll show you what it looks like inside with these items. But yeah, it still fits, and I think it's really nice. And again, you have this little pocket out here. So maybe if you had a lipstick that you wanted to carry with you, you can definitely put the lipstick here. The other thing just to mention is you're not going to fit a card holder in here. The card holder will not fit. You can see that it's sticking out. So you definitely can't fit a card holder. And this is the standard card holder. So it's just a standard size card holder, and that will not fit in there. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about putting that in there. But you can definitely put a lipstick or some money or even a credit card or your ID. That definitely does fit in there. So that's that. So what I'm going to do now is I want to move on to this other one just so that you can see the differences. So remember, in this one, we just have a cell phone. I put a cell phone, recto verso, and a card holder. That's the only thing that I had in this one, and it was pretty full. I couldn't really put much more. Now, when it comes to this one, the Over the Moon, I'm going to show you how much more can fit in there. I'm going to turn this around for you. So now, Over the Moon, I've got my toiletry 15, and that fits perfectly in there. Now, my recto verso, because as all of you know, this goes everywhere with me, that fits in there. Now let's put my cell phone, because of course I think we all carry cell phones these days. So cell phone, that fits in there. And now if I want to put some sunglasses in here, I can put that in here as well. And let's say I want to take my card holder with me. Because of the inside of this bag, it does have a little pocket in here. So I'm just going to put that in the pocket. And if it's it's interesting, the actual pocket, that card holder fits, it slides right in the pocket, fits perfectly in that pocket. So now I have my phone, my cell phone. I have the toiletry 15, the recto verso that's super stuffed, and I have my sunglasses and the card holder. I have all those pieces in here. And now check this out. It fits. And I don't think the bag really looks too deformed. I think because of the type of leather, it's just like it's expandable and it's really flexible and soft, that I think over time it'll probably soften a little more. But in my opinion, I think it still looks really cute. I don't think it looks bad at all with it full with that many things. And of course you saw when it came to the loop, I was only able to put a few items in there and it was already full. I couldn't put much more than that. So for me, I think if I'm traveling and I'm taking a lot of extra stuff with me, I probably would travel more with this one, with the Over the Moon versus the loop. The loop for me, in my opinion, for me, how I'm going to use it is going to be for a date night. Or if you want to use it for like a crossbody, or use it just for day to day if you're carrying very light things, I think this will be a great bag. Those are just my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of these items out because I want to do just a side-by-side model shot for you guys. And I'm not going to have anything in the bags just so that you can see the bag really nicely, but I'm going to empty this bag. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do side-by-side model shots for you so that you can see the differences in these bags and how much different they look on. And then we will be done. Okay, so it's interesting because when you're looking at them here in the camera, in my opinion, I don't think they look too much different, right? I think the size looks very similar, but then when you turn it, you can see how much thicker the black one is, the actual Over the Moon versus the loop. But they, in my opinion, I mean, they don't look that much different, which is so weird. And you guys both were able to see how much more I can fit in the actual Over the Moon versus the loop. But I think a lot of it has to do with it being thinner. It's much thinner, so I think that is a big reason. And obviously, the Over the Moon is a little bit larger anyway. But you can see, I'm going to show you just side by side. This is what the actual loop looks like. It's a lot more, in my opinion, it's like very classy and very thin. Versus this one's a little bit bulkier. It's a little bit bigger. But, I mean, they're both super cute. But you can see how much thinner the actual loop bag looks compared to the Over the Moon. But yeah, I mean, you can see them both here. I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Is the Over the Moon more suited for you or the actual loop bag? But as you can see, I mean, they're not much different in size, but, you know, there's that width piece. And also because it slouches and is puffier, it just tends to, I mean, you can see how much thicker that looks. You can fit much more in the Over the Moon. Well, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and I hope to see you again.